Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here in the Latin Nerds Network, ready to go over all the shows, movies, documentaries released over streaming this past week, and of course at the end of the show, letting you know what's coming out, so you too can create your very own watch list, ready to give us all best recommendations or non-recommendations, as the case may be. Of course, it's Senor Jaime, aka Chewy, what it is, what it was. What it shall be. Yes, Comic Con's coming. I get it. Before you start, I knew you were gonna go there. Yeah. I know you're excited.
That's not what I was gonna say, dude.
Fair enough. My apologies. Go ahead. I
I'm
digress.
thinking all of the fantasy redraft, all the rookies, and where I'm gonna get these guys, man. Come on.
A lot of rookies coming out, which we will not have opportunity to draft because we drafting towards the end. So damn it,
Well,
we lose potential keepers values,
someone
unfortunately.
has to be champion. That's all I gotta say. Thank you
Future,
very much.
future considerations. So it is what it is. But you're right. Football season. We're not quite there yet, but the beginnings have started in terms of the research of the
Gotta figure out my
yeah
keepers. Gotta figure out who I'm gonna
keeper.
try to target in that 12, 13, 10, 11 slot. So it's all good.
We can do it when you're on Comic Con in a couple months. How about that? Hello.
There you go.
See, we tied it all. We tied it all in here. Either way, so not a big week of releases, but what the hell? There's always stuff to watch, as I always say. For those who say there isn't, nonsense. If you're new to the channel, again, we're here every Sunday. Subscribe, hit the like button, notification, of course, and then we're here every week again on Sundays, going over all these shows. So let's get into it, Chewy. But I do want to circle back on.
Wait,
Oh,
what happened? What happened to the in memoriam segment?
I didn't realize it's in memoriam. Someone
Eh,
passed.
grab your bottle, pour one out for the Mandalorian, Mr. Pedro Pascal.
Well, that well, you see, he jumping the gun, dude, because that's exactly what I was heading into here.
There you go. There you go.
I see what you're saying, but yeah. So the Last of Us, of course, dropping the second episode, which was a very controversial happenings in the video game, and apparently same here as a show. So I did want to circle back because I thought that was for me one of the best episodes, not the best episode of TV I've seen this year, right? For me
It's
personally,
up there.
it's up there, no question, right? It's one of the best, the best. What I mean, single episode, not entirety of the show, of course.
Mhm.
Um, it was awesome. I mean, we'll get to the Pedro Pascal stuff, but just even that, which wasn't in the game, the big, Helm's Deep esque kind of event that happened at the town was so well made. It's crazy. It was so good, and I was telling Eric this is what the episode of the White Walker should have been in the last season, because you could actually see it. Um,
Yeah. Well, besides the actual
besides
skits,
that, right? But
but just like that show, there was some convenient saves and
of
stuff.
course, I mean, there's always
I
gonna be
mean,
convenient saves. We know this and we get it. But
you
listen,
know, the Yeoman Johnson of the world, RAP, the key
of
characters
of course,
saved by the bell.
of course, that's gonna happen. But it did give us the one big, of course, death, and that's Pedro Pascal's character. I was kind of curious. I know, obviously, you dug the episode, because you didn't play the games. I
No,
assume you were aware what was happening. I mean, you didn't. I don't
no.
know. You were not aware of it. Okay, so
Mm-mm. This was
curious.
a complete shock as I
Okay,
was
okay,
expecting. I was
okay.
like, I was in tears. I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is Ned Stark moment.
Yes,
Or like,
that's
no,
no
this can't
worse,
be
worse.
happening.
Yeah.
This can't happen. This is the main character. This no. What are you guys doing to me, Pedro?
That's
No, man.
Pedro, of course. No Latino takes the
Um,
hit. No, but I was kidding.
uh,
But yeah,
but
I was kind of curious because I mean, obviously I knew it was coming, and last year I was thinking, are they going to be bold enough to actually stick with that in the game?
well, I think there was no doubt that if
Well,
that was in the game, they couldn't
they could make some
alter that.
adjustments. Maybe they could have captured him. I don't know, right? I'm just saying, it's a bold move
Yeah.
to execute the main or the second main character in the game. After I saw the first episode, I'm like, oh no, they're gonna go this route, which I was very happy about. I was thinking episode three, but yeah, so you were cut off guard with it.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure you're
absolutely.
thinking at the last second Eddie's gonna come in and save him
Some
or something,
say the guy come in,
right?
they don't finish the job, anything.
Yeah,
I knew he wasn't getting up. I mean, he was like, yeah, I was just, man, I was devastating. But
it,
I thought the last minute save, I was waiting and waiting. She came in. I thought she was gonna come guns blazing or something,
right.
and no, and I was like, fuck, man,
Yeah,
no way.
it was brutal.
Um, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
to say the least.
No love for Abby, that's for sure. It's one
No,
thing to
no.
take revenge, and there's another to extricate every ounce, every pound of flesh that you can for that. And I was like, that pushed me to I can't stand her. I want her off the table.
I mean,
No
yes,
doubt about it.
but you do understand why it was done. If Eddie does the same thing to her, we're not gonna. So it just, I guess the point of view is like, okay, well, Abby
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah,
justified, and she could take it extreme, probably.
yeah.
But
But I like I said, I rewatched the whole first season
mhm,
and looking at all the people he killed that he probably couldn't have, shouldn't have, but he did anyway, right?
sure, sure.
When the people, I remember, I think it was 7 episode where he is hurt and she goes off and she gets captured by
Oh
the
yeah,
cannibals or whatever.
yeah.
Um, and then there's the guys who's just, they're just looking for her, and then he traps them and gets information, kills them, right? But the guy lays down his arms in the last episode,
Mhm.
and he kills them. And so it was like it's not like he didn't deserve to die. I
That's what I'm
mean,
saying. There's justification if you look at it rationally. We know we hate it because
yeah,
he's the main
yeah,
guy and we like him, well, obviously, but it is what it is, right? So I think
yeah.
it's not out of left field. It's not random. It's like, okay, I get it, right? And I think
No, but it was definitely, devastating
yeah. If you
to
know what
see
was
that.
coming, it was wow. It was really well
Yeah.
done. The only difference in the game between those scenes is that it was Joe's brother that was with him instead of the girl. Um, but they gave Joe
I mean,
in the game,
yeah.
but they used the other scene to put him in somewhere else and give him a better
Yeah,
arc.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll see
obviously.
how that pans out as far
Um,
as was involved in it.
yeah,
But
no doubt. So it was just what a great episode it was. It was awesome.
But it's great. No, it
Yeah,
was absolutely very.
and we will see Joel again, and well, I would assume.
No, there's gonna be flashbacks and
Right,
stuff,
in the
so it's
game,
not
there's
like he's
flashback. There's a lot of cool conversations that they have that they flash
yeah,
back to, which tell a lot as far as what they went through in the story between his 5 years.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll definitely see him again. But yeah, so it was great. It was such a good episode. I was like, oh man, this is
I'm sad.
this is one of when the first episode first started. I'm like, oh,
That is not the way,
that's
dude.
not the way.
That's
But when I first started, I'm like, I was watching my wife, and I was like, oh, this is the one, because she kind of knew what. Like I kind of told her before the story, before she knew the story. But I was like, oh shit, this is the episode. Oh my god,
already.
like
Yeah, yeah.
I
It was
wasn't quite
quick.
ready for
Yeah.
that. I was like, whoa, okay, here, buckle up.
I was, not knowing, I wish it would have been like episode 5 or 6, or towards the end of the season, not at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it happens
Uh,
early in the game, so that's why I figured it was gonna be episode 2 or 3 at best.
okay,
I was
okay.
thinking more 3, so I knew, like I said, plenty. I knew it was gonna happen early. I really did. But man, that was episode 2. Wasn't quite okay. I get it, but damn, well, just one more, probably better, man. But this guy Pascal's getting plenty of work, so he's eating just fine. No, just not shed a tear for him. Poor guy. But let's go on to this week. I hope the show's been great. I hope it continues to be great. But let's start with this week. So this week we'll start with Netflix documentary, Tragedy Foretold, The Flight 3054, the 3-part series, 4-part, 3-part, focusing on the tragic plane crash that happened in Brazil years ago, and it goes into the reasons why, and of course, and everyone's looking for someone to blame, and the airline itself was, put to the coals, if you will, and justifiably so, and yeah, it actually show not the actual crash, but I guess because when it crashed, the crash landed and then hit up into one of the buildings owned by the airline as well.
Yeah, I think it kept going, and I don't know if it didn't break in time or whatever, but
Right.
literally just went to the neighborhood of the building adjacent to the runway.
To
So
exactly, yeah, I would died, of course, over 100 and something, and then other
yeah,
people in the building itself.
yeah.
So, Chu, your thoughts on the flight tragedy here?
I hate to say this when it's a tragedy, but I couldn't finish it. I was just bored. I just didn't. The there was no narrative, right? I don't know. I just couldn't enjoy it. I just couldn't finish. It's like I got other things to watch. This is not of interest. It's the style, the method. It was just very dry and yeah, I
No,
don't know, man.
I get it, and
Maybe I'm just heartless today.
no,
I
no,
don't know.
I think I might maybe with you. You have enough depth with Last of Us. It's fine. Like I mean, it was a very short, small week in terms of releases, so I kind of stuck it through, to be honest with you. But I wasn't impressed. I liked the first episode because okay, I didn't know what this was about, to be honest, the history behind it. But after that, just like I don't know, it just kind of lingered. This could have been like an hour and a half. I thought would have been probably
Yeah.
better as a
Um,
docu film maybe, but it was fine. There's plenty of documentaries out there. This is probably not the one. Next one, let's go to a film. One I was very excited about, a Havoc, Tom Hardy movie. Of course, we all love some Tom Hardy. Forrest Whitaker's in there. Timothy Oliphant, not to be confused with what's his face.
Josh Duhamel.
Josh Duhamel.
Duhamel, whatever.
Whatever. Directed by Gareth Evans, who I'm a huge fan of. Of course, he gave us, he does Gangs of London. He created the show, showrunner for that. And two of my favorite action films of all time, The Raid and Raid 2, which are ridiculous. This guy's the best action director. So, Drew, start with you again. What the hell? What do you think about Havoc?
Um, so you had mentioned about some club scene, right? That was going to be,
From what I heard, yeah. That's what I heard.
yeah, something
That's what I
to
heard.
be to keep
Yeah.
an eye out. So I was watching for that. Right, like I say, I was reasonably entertained with the movie. Good pace, you know. Um, but that club scene was like, damn, that was ridiculous, man. The action in there and the shooting and the knives and the hand to hand and everyone, three different factions going at it. I was like, wow, wow, you
Yeah, listen,
know.
I heard about it and it was legit. It was
Yeah.
legit.
No, it was
Yeah.
that was worth the price of admission. That whole sequence in the club where the main character, Tom Hardy, cop is trying to get that witness out,
Mhm.
right? The the Yakuza Japanese guys show up. The cops, dirty cops,
Mhm.
show up, and it's like it's all hell breaking loose, man. I'm like, holy cow! Here we go. Up there, people there, pandemonium. God bless, man.
Uh,
Wow.
yeah, listen. As a film, it's not a great movie, right? And the script's
No,
okay,
no,
the
it's
characters
okay.
aren't great, whatever. But this is an action film, so because this is what I wanted to see, right? And no one does action in this guy, and those like the last half of this film, it's ridiculous. Even that
But
shootout in the end was
oh yeah, even
whew,
that shootout was
it was
was
crazy.
yeah.
Because this was more of a, I've heard it's turned like a Hong Kong old school kind of like John Woo style. He's a lot more gun
Yeah,
work, right?
yeah, it has
But
that feel.
yeah, with the raid it was definitely more martial arts intensive, right? By far. So like they changed it up, but how did they use the camera, the angles? This movie, those scenes alone, you're right. It's worth it just to put on for those the last half of this film. The action is crazy. It really is. It's hyper intensive, kinetic, over the top.
Hyper graphic. I
Going
mean,
hyper violent like crazy, no doubt. So that may turn people off. I don't know. I mean, they waste bullets here like it's a candy, man. It's just like you're spraying, the spraying and praying everywhere. One shot won't get the job done. It's like 50 shots per character. Look, it's
yeah,
bonkers, right? And it's entertaining as hell in terms of that. That's a movie. As in the action was great. Yeah, you're right. That club scene was awesome. I actually ended
yeah,
up watching it. I went back and saw the two scenes again, and like the next day I was like, I want to see this again.
yeah.
But see,
No,
this
it was,
the way he shoots it, it's just very unique. Some of the stuff has come over, not a lot in terms of how he puts the camera. Even it seemed like there's in the club scene, there's part of the floor is glass, and he goes underneath the glass to show the guy
oh
coming
yeah,
down.
there's because
It's
there's a
very
lower
cool.
and there's like a mezzanine
Yeah,
section where
yeah,
most of the fighting happens
yeah.
at the beginning,
Exactly.
and he pans the camera underneath, so you see the black splatter on the glass uh
On the floor or whatever.
floor,
Yeah,
but looking from underneath and stuff, and
exactly.
so
So it's very cool how he does it. He designs it, and you can see the action.
someone
It's clear.
someone didn't get the memo about shooting the glass. That's
Oh, that's it.
whatever.
You shot the glass. Didn't watch Die Hard. But no, this is definitely a recommend. It's a fun movie. It's a fun flick. How about that, right? It's not a great film, but it's entertaining as hell. The action is just bonkers. You don't see action like this. You rarely do. There's other great action films. Make no mistake, right? John Wick, of course, as an example. But it's just different. It's for that reason, for sure. High recommend, no doubt. It's a good time. It's fun. It's like an hour and a half. It says 147, but it's like 10-minute credits for some reason.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Disney,
yeah. I don't
the
know.
Disney the credits for some reason. But it's 30 minutes, so it's short. And Tom Hardy, of course, who doesn't like Tom Hardy? Yeah, so definitely, absolutely recommend, no doubt about it. I enjoyed it a lot. Next one, we got the last season of You. Of course, in its fifth and final season, long-term running show. Of course, the Dexter Light, as I like to call it. Everyone's favorite romantic serial killer, if you will, is back. And I think I seen like 7 or 8 because wife was watching it, so of course we got to binge it. Couldn't get me. I kind of want to see the whole thing before we talk today. Just we had things to do yesterday, so we couldn't do it. But I'm into 8. Obviously, this has been a cool show. The first season, I wasn't a huge fan of, to be honest with you. Excuse me. And it's about time the show ends, and this show shows you the good and the bad of the show, right? There's also some cool things, but it is ridiculous sometimes, and it's kind of silly at times. Like, dude, what do we do? Whatever, you just go with it. Fair enough. I do like the fact this bookend here with the first season. He's back in New York. Got the bookstore back, and one of the main characters is back. The very first Beck, whatever his name is, who
Mhm.
of course is his first victim, or whatever his first victim in the show, his first love interest. she's back in flashbacks and she has a big part in what's going on. And not to, I don't want to spoil it for you. I don't think Chewie's probably hasn't seen as much as I have.
No.
But listen, if you're a U fan, you'll enjoy it, for what it is. There's some good things to it. I really want to see how it ended before I talk to you guys, but I just couldn't do it. But yeah, if you're a fan, I think you should be enjoying it. Chewy, your thoughts on the first episode?
No,
First,
man. This is a show I like a lot, right? I got into it,
mm-hmm.
and I never got into Dexter, so for me it's hard for me to compare
Sure.
the two. Just they never got around to it, or even the prequel series that came out
No,
recently in the last
I
couple
didn't
years.
watch the prequel because
Yeah.
I know what happens.
Um, but I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed the character. Uh, yeah, obviously some places it's ridiculous. Whatever. I mean,
It is.
it's
It is what
TV,
it is,
right?
right? And if you,
Yeah,
yeah, if it
yeah.
hasn't bothered you by now, and it's not going to bother you this last season,
No, it doesn't bother
right?
me.
I mean, what I'm saying? It's like, okay, it's part for the courts what the show's done. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, hey, bye.
yeah.
How many have you seen?
But
I'm sorry.
I've seen three, I
Okay,
think.
okay, all right, fair enough. All right, go ahead. You said you
Yeah,
were
I've seen three.
okay.
Um, Go ahead.
Go, no, no, go, go. I was going to say go. Continue.
No,
Sorry.
yeah. No, so like I said, I've enjoyed it so far. I've been a fan. I love the character, like the type of character. Um, and obviously every season is a little different. But yeah, glad that he's back in New York. Find a way to get back, and then seeing how he has evolved from where he started to where he is now, and what he's trying to suppress, I guess, in certain to a certain degree, who he really is.
That didn't last too long.
Yeah.
Well, that's I guess a few years because a 3 year time jump between the seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yes.
There's one kind of a big reveal surprise in there, which made the show kind of interesting. Towards the second half, so I was like, okay, I didn't expect that at all. You know when it happens, obviously.
Okay. Okay.
But it's good. Sorry, no doubt. Last one here, we got season 2 of Andor, Disney Plus. I'm a huge fan of the first season. I thought it was probably the best Star Wars' best stuff that they've done since the Kathleen Kennedy, has taken over. Doesn't say a whole lot. I get it. Really good, really great show. Of course, focusing on the rebellion or Andor Cassian from Rogue One. Season 2, I'm very excited about. I heard some great things about this. So I was like, all right. So first 3 episodes drop. And I gotta admit, as much as I love the show, I was a little bit underwhelmed with the first 3 episodes. But I love the last 20, 30 minutes of episode 3, which I could say, oh, now we're cooking. Right now we're getting somewhere with the story because it just kind of like it lingers for a couple episodes and it just kind of like drag. I'm like, okay, where we're going with this? I mean, they're aristocrats. We call them Mothra and all that. They're in the same location for 3 episodes and a wedding. Who cares? It just we need to change that. And they're stuck in some weird planet. It just seems like he would just put there waste time so he can make it at the end of the 3rd episode. Right?
What do you mean, some weird planet, dude? It's Yavin 4, man.
Well, he's
Come
there.
on.
I mean, we're people. My bad. He's there, but it just seems like it was just a placeholder until he kind of can show up at the end of episode 3, right? And they need something to do. And not to say it was bad. I just underwhelming. I was a little bit bored, but the episode 3 kind of left off like now we're getting the story. Now the story has started. It just took a while to get there for me. I'm sure this is going to be fantastic moving forward, no doubt, and I can see it. But I still enjoyed it. Just underwhelmed. Not a big deal. It's only 3 episodes. Still good. So yeah, obviously, this has been a high recommend if you're a Star Wars fan. If you haven't seen this, this is the show you should watch. Again, meant for adults. This is an adult Star Wars show, which I like about it. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. Some of the things it does, even that controversial scene, people were kind of in and out of that, and I get it. I get both sides of it. I didn't mind it. It's because again, what the show does is giving you a very grounded look into the world of a world that's not, it's fantasy, but this makes it seem like kind of real to me anyway. So I enjoyed it, just not a little bit underwhelmed. That's all. Chewy, your thoughts?
No. I mean, I think I agree with the hype I was hearing about from the critics and everyone who had seen it or seen pieces of it, that this was the best thing since sliced bread. And I was like, oh, okay, great. I'm looking
Sure.
forward to it.
Yeah.
And then I see these 3 episodes. I'm like, huh. Did they see the whole thing, or are they talking about these 3 episodes? If it's just based on 3 episodes,
No.
the hype. I mean, someone rode the hype train and hasn't gotten off yet. God damn.
For real.
But so that aside, so overhyped, a little underwhelming, but was it still good? Yes,
Of course.
yes. I mean,
No question.
the 3 episode, like I say, each episode is one year arc, right? Or happens, and then there's a time jump between each of these
Oh,
three
right.
episodes.
Every 3, right. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So, um, I, I, I think I'm gonna enjoy the story, but it, it, I think I'm gonna be disappointed with how they made through these time jumps, right? And so we're getting I feel I can already see with these the episodes because these the episodes tied together,
Sure.
and I think that's why they decided to drop these like this because it's not a cohesive 12 episode story, right? The first season was everything was progressing and made sense. The events he was going through, but there was a linear progression,
Hmm.
and I think these are just three snippets of things that happen in this 4 year time frame
Okay.
to get us to essentially Rogue One.
Right, of
Right.
course.
So if you watch this and you watch Rogue One, I think you have a different perspective on that movie. May even enhance it, right? Because we get his full backstory. But I'm not sure this way of telling this story is gonna be satisfying, knowing that we already know where this ends up on the movie,
That's fair.
and we're already getting a brief snippet of a 4 year period. I mean, brief. I mean, we're going to maybe there may be some key events, but is it a cohesive story? Probably not. Not in the sense of a a Mandalorian season. Not that Mandalorian season, it's great, but it progressive, right? There's a flow. Um, versus take Mandalorian and Grogu and put him in year one adventure in the 3 episode arc, and then a year later they do another adventure, and then a year later they do
Right.
another adventure. Is
This,
that going to be satisfying? Probably not. Not from a storytelling
I mean,
perspective.
I
Is it
agree with
good
that. Yeah.
TV?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like I said, we enjoyed these 3 episodes, but you said it lingered. Well, okay. Well, these next episodes are probably going to go through the same thing where they're going to linger because they're all prepackaged,
Hmm.
right?
Sure.
They're
Fair.
there.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't argue with that.
yeah, but I'm still going to enjoy it, right? It's probably the best Star Wars TV from a storytelling perspective. I think we still love Mando and Grogu more just from a entertainment perspective.
Yes. Yes. Fair.
And the numbers bear out because the numbers for season one, as much as critically acclaimed, weren't that great.
No.
So say what you say that it may be the best show. It's not the most watched show, but not
Of
even
course. Of
close.
course. There's a difference between
Um,
being the best and being entertaining, right? So it's two different things, right?
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
If
Mandalorian is entertaining.
yeah.
This is probably a better
Yeah.
quality from a
No doubt.
from
It's
a
without question. It's a better.
from a storytelling perspective, but is it entertaining?
Right.
Right? Is it going to grab you? I don't know. And then now that we know what we're going to get, I'm probably going to be disappointed. I'm still going to enjoy it and watch it because it's still good, great Star Wars television. But is it going to be a great show beginning to end because they chose to chop it up?
I mean, like,
I don't know.
agreed. I mean, is there a hope? Maybe we'll see. Obviously, time will tell,
Yeah,
right? Maybe they pull it off, and I mean, based on what I'm hearing, they did. Fair enough. So I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
But I guess it's still a good start, and this is, of course, for Star Wars fans, this is a must watch because I think it is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best,
absolutely.
one of the best thing they've done altogether. So that's it for this week. I guess some good stuff in there, entertaining stuff, movie, show. So next week we got I'm gonna give you here 2 weeks of stuff coming out. Not a lot, but it's definitely stuff. We got some reality shows. We got Chef's Table coming out on the 28th, of course.
Which one? Oh, Chef's Table.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes,
say
yes.
Legends. Of course, the title
Mhm.
suggests it's Legends of the culinary world. Will be in this, so it's always kinds of fun shows to watch. I'm a foodie guy, so I enjoy watching some of these. On the 30th, we got a sci-fi show on Netflix, the Eternaut. This one, I think it's an Argentinian show, I think. And
Yes, I believe so.
okay,
That's
so we
correct.
have here, obviously, a cataclysmic event, kind of almost like the second coming of the Ice Age, if you will. And
Mhm.
whatever survivors are left are trying to survive and obviously fight off, I guess. I want to say aliens or something, or creatures from. I think it looked like aliens to me. I saw a real quick snippet of the trailer.
I think so, but
Yeah,
I haven't read full synopsis. So, but it is obviously sci-fi, so maybe it is
yeah, I
alien.
think
So,
something like aliens. So that could be interesting. That could really be an interesting show. Documentary Turning Point Vietnam War. Of course, that's very self-explanatory. I think this is a short series. They've done this
yes.
Turning Point docu series before, and they've done pretty well. So I mean,
Mhm.
I've been seeing so much of the Vietnam War. I can't say I'm excited, but whatever. I'll watch it anyway. And then we got on the 30th, we got a couple of things. We got an Apple Plus, Gareme. That's not if I'm saying that right. I guess I
Uh,
think it's a foreign show.
Cerame, I think.
Is it Ceramic? Okay, all right.
Yes,
I didn't see the
Cerame.
trailer, so I didn't see the pronounce. But apparently, he's the main character is a chef and all that, and I guess he's trying to enter the world of espionage, or maintaining his status as
In
world class.
France, and so that's why it's Cerame, not Carame. So,
Gotcha. So this could be interesting. It's Apple Plus, so
yeah.
we'll see. And then on the first, we got The Four Seasons. It's a new comedy here. Tina Fey, who's great. Steve Carell, who I love. Here we have this is a story about three couples, married couples who are friends for a long time. They do like a quarterly trip somewhere. But things drastically change because one of the couples is getting a divorce. So you know how that goes. So I think they're doing one last trip or something like that. So we'll see. You know, these comedies are very hit and miss on Netflix, but that comes out on the 1st. And then after that, we got on Disney Plus coming out. Of course, May the 4th be with you. Of course, so that always got to drop a little something. So we got Tales of the Underworld, of course, animated show focusing on a couple of the villains like Kane. Oh my God, what is his name?
Dark Maul
Darth Maul,
and
Bane, Kane, Bane,
Bane.
Bane.
No, not Dark
I'm
Bane. No.
thinking Bane and Batman, but Cad Bane. There you go. Thank you. But yeah, so whatever. Hopefully, we'll see. On the 6th, the Untold series returns on Netflix. Of course, a docu series on focusing on stories involving sports. It's really well done, so I'm kind of interested in seeing this one. On the 8th, we got finally. It seems like it's been a while. Poker Face returns on Peacock. Of
Yeah,
course.
it's been a long while.
Natasha Lyons in this one. Chris Johnson produced. And I really hope when this time around they change the story structure, because the one thing that held back from the show being really really great is that they always kind of almost told you who the killer is, and then you see it from her perspective trying to figure it out. I think the audience should come around on the ride in terms of figuring out who it is. Don't just tell us.
I think because we know who it is, and so now we watch her how she figures it out. But
right, I want to figure out.
I want to be in her point of view and try to figure it out as well, not just
exactly. So I hope they kind of change that part. That's the only thing that kind of annoyed me. But it was a good show. It was a funny show. I liked it, but it was kind of annoying. And then on the 8th, we got Blood of Zeus animated show. I don't remember seeing the first season, to be honest with you. Season 2.
Yeah, I completely forgot. So I went back and watched. I'm watching the first 2 seasons.
Season 3.
So again,
Okay.
it's this is the final season. This is obviously based on Greek mythology and the gods of Olympus and whatnot. So now it's just telling the animated format. It's actually pretty interesting.
Okay,
right?
fair enough. I don't think anyone watched it, to be honest with you. I don't remember.
Yeah.
On the 9th, we got Vince Vaughn, doing another comedy, is a film, Nonas.
Yes, the movie.
Nonas, I'm saying
Yes.
it right. This one here, I think his grandmother died, mother dies, either way, and in her honor opens up a restaurant, and he brings all these grandmothers to kind of help run it or cook or whatever the case is. So, okay, it's Vince Vaughn. I dig it. He's money, and he's money. He knows it. And coming off Bad Monkey, why not? And then the 9th, we got a docu film, A Deadly American Marriage. Unfamiliar with the story. Apparently, the married couple, I think it was either the father-in-law or mother-in-law. I don't know. They're all in a dispute and it ends up deadly, of course, and it kind of documents that. So I don't know, whatever. Documentaries.
I mean, I've enjoyed the true crime documentaries on Netflix, so I thought I'd put on that one. I wasn't familiar with the case either, but I've enjoyed their true crime documentaries. So I want to watch it.
And being unfamiliar with the story, I think maybe even better because you learn something. Oh, I didn't know that. And sometimes you know things already. It's not as interesting sometimes, depending on what it is. But so like I said, it's about 9-10 things coming out over the next couple weeks, so you can kind of set your watch list accordingly. And of course, we'll be back here on Sunday to review all these and see how good or not good they are. We'll see. That said, we appreciate you guys joining us again. Like to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys next week.